All right, we're out at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Worrall. They were referred to us by Dan and Nancy Pena. They have a vinyl on the siding now, vinyl siding on the house now. It was done by a local company here about 8 or 9 years ago. Didn't have a very good experience with them, and obviously they have some problems going on with the siding now that need to be addressed. So that's after they spoke with Dan one morning on their walk, they decided to give us a call and see if maybe we could help them out and fix some of the problems that they have going on now. So it's an absolutely gorgeous home out here in Fair Oaks. And again, there's just some problems with the vinyl, after 8 or 9 years. And of course, the aesthetics are pretty obviously, different than the Hardie plank. So they're looking at making a change. So we got 8 Don Young windows that would also be done to match the rest of the Don Youngs they have in the house. And then the siding. So we're looking at the James Hardie solution, doing the Cedar Mill Select 8 1/4 inch board. We do have a new roof on here, so it's a 6,000 square foot roof, so huge roof, and a lot of these wraparound tiles, that we see right here. So the thought is, as a temporary, although it's not ideal, as a temporary fix would be to leave the aluminum fascia and the soffit, although we're going to look at that as an option of doing that with Hardie as well, but potentially leaving that alone for right now, and then addressing that maybe as it comes up down the road. So that's what we're looking at. Again, just an absolute gorgeous home. They probably won't go with a color change. The colors that are on here look really nice. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, Cedar Mill Select 8 1/4, and doing just sidewall information, all this sidewall area for right now. All windows would be wrapped in Hardie. All corner trim, that's the opposing white color, would all be Hardie trim. Window door wrap, everything would all be Hardie trim. So we have this area right up here. That's one of the windows that we would be looking at, this guy right here. And then on the front facing side, that window, both of those are really bad seal failure. And then the 6 underneath the porch here would all be done as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, we'll go around, and you got some serious mold, mildew issues up here, and Mr. Worrall was saying that he's concerned with pressure washing that, just because the vinyl's so brittle that it probably would just destroy that vinyl. So he's left it alone in hopes of just keeping siding on the house instead of having a bunch of broken siding up there, broken vinyl. But that's one of the reasonings, again, behind the vinyl. They're realizing that it's kind of not the best best solution for him here. And that's pretty corroded. You can tell it's already eaten away the plastic, all that mold and mildew. So we have all this porch here. We wouldn't be doing anything on the underside of the porch ceiling. Here you can see where a joint's just separated just from that vinyl doing what it does here in the South Texas heat. It expands and contracts to finally a point where it just doesn't fit anymore. And that's the problem with plastic siding. Porch ceiling's all in good shape, so nothing really need to be done there. And then coming over here, this is the most immediate problem, is this fascia that's just completely fallen down. And we talked about that. The next thing that's going to happen is a good breeze is going to catch that soffit, and all of a sudden the soffit's going to be blowing around the front yard. So that's what really prompted him to call us and have us come take a look at this. But again, because there's so much root and so much wraparound tile on the fascia, they really are hesitant about undertaking, tearing off those corner wrap tiles and, putting the Hardie fascia on the correct way. So again, that's why we might kind of backseat that for a future project. No real siding on this side of the house. We got a lot of fascia, but it's all rock, so nothing here. This area here, as well as all the, kind of the apron up underneath here, right above all that woodwork there, that would all be addressed. Any vinyl on the house would come off, except the soffit. So that's what we got over here. These are all existing bronze Don Young's windows now. Coming around to the back, we do have some additional siding. You can see that, all that aluminum coil wrap fascia, and then the vinyl soffit. It's absolutely gorgeous home. They did a pretty sizable renovation recently, and inside, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So you can see here, there's a small area of vinyl But again, all this corner wrapping, you can see how they kind of have to bend that, to where it's all chunked up, and it just certainly doesn't look as nice and as attractive as the Hardie, where that would all be a flush 1x4 instead of that kind of snake together plastic trim. So all this here, all these windows, all these doors would be wrapped in the Hardie plank siding. And we get rid of all those seams that you can clearly see, right here. And again, all that little kind of that coil wrap, that flex wrap kind of stuff, the plastic around the windows would all be buttoned up and look really nice. In here, just more soffit and fascia. But that might be, like I said, that might be kind of sidebarred for a future project. This is kind of hard to see. So we got this little rake here. That would all become Hardie plank, and then basically the garage is just an extension, a bumped out extension of that. So we got a single and a double garage, and then this would all become Hardie plank as well here. Garage door frames would be wrapped in Hardie, and all that would be nice and neat. You can see here we have another issue with the fascia. It's all dinged up and bent, which is kind of why they stopped doing aluminum siding. Unfortunately, there's still some folks that are using it on the fascia, but you can see it's pretty dinged up right there, probably from the tree hitting it or something. That's what we got. This little window bump out here obviously would be all taken care of and would all become Hardie plank siding. All trim, corner trim, window trim, everything would all be the Hardie plank siding. So that's kind of what we're looking at. On both sides, what I was trying to explain earlier, on both sides of this right here underneath, all these guys here, that would all become Hardie plank. And then this side here, as well as the underneath side, the back side right up here, would all become Hardie plank siding as well. So we get all that vinyl off there and just make it all look nice and neat and done correctly with the Hardie. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, we'll look at some multiple options here, but it sounds what's probably the best solution is just replacing sidewall for now, and then addressing the fascia and soffit as that becomes more of an apparent need. So again, really appreciate Mr. and Mrs. Worrall. Really appreciate you guys having me out today, and we look forward to certainly working with you. This little area, this again another rake. I just noticed this. We measured that, so that would all be up under here. That would all be accounted for as well. Security lights on the corners here and here. Those would all be left intact as well. So again, thank you so much for having me out today, and again, we look forward to working for you. Thank you.